Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how to recreate TV screen effect in Blender. This is just a simple node setup that recreates the RGB pixels inside of a screen. Let's get into it. To start out, do Shift A, grab yourself a plane. I suggest scaling this to about maybe 2, and then scaling it down the x-axis to whatever looks good as a TV screen. And then I rotate it on the y-axis to give myself a better view of what's going on. So after you have your plane set up, now you're ready to set up your nodes. Open the shading tab, hop into your shading tab up here, create a new texture. I'm going to call this TV screen. Alright, TV screen. Now once I have this texture created, I'm going to go ahead and delete my principal BSDF. This is because we will not be needing it. For the remainder of this tutorial, you unfortunately won't be able to see what the texture is looking like as you are making it because it requires, further customization of it. So first, what you want to do, the first thing you want to do, grab yourself a texture coordinate. So click Shift A on the node, texture, coordinate. Get that in there. Move it over because you're gonna have a lot of shit that's gonna be in the middle. Next, get mapping. Get the mapping node, make sure it's on point. Wire the UV to vector. Next, get a gradient texture. You're actually going to want to duplicate this because you're going to use another one. This will all end up falling together if you have common knowledge on how a screen works. I think this is really cool. So basically, first up, you're going to get a multiply. Actually, just get a math and then change it to multiply. So once you have it to multiply, go ahead and wire your color to value. But for this, we're actually going to do 1920. This is going to be the first resolution, I'm pretty sure, for the screen. Next, you're going to duplicate this. You're going to change from multiply to modulo. So wire this to here and just change this to 1 if you haven't already duplicated it. Alright, so next, you're going to want to drag in here a color ramp. So wire the value to your factor. So change, you see here where it says linear, change this to constant. So you want to drag this, I'd say about maybe 0.9. So do 0.9. Yeah, definitely do 0.9 for over here. And we're done with the top part. Next, we're going to move on to the bottom. For this, you can simply just duplicate this because it's a very, very similar setup. It's just, now this is where everything starts to fall into place. So now you're going to do 1080. So it'll be 1920 times 1080 or vice versa, 1080 times 1920. You get it. So you're going to wire your gradient texture without wiring the vector. Make sure not to do this. This is only for this. So don't wire this to this. Just keep this blank. So wire the color to the value, and then keep the modulo at 1, and get another color ramp. And this is where we're going to create our RGB effect. So wire your value to your factor. This can be annoying to do, so I suggest you listen closely on this. First, we're going to have to do a little bit of math here, which gets annoying. So first off, you're going to want, I want to say 7 of these little slider thingies, so I only have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So add 5 of them. And first off, we're going to divide these. So there's going to be one, it's going to be red on the far left, green in the middle, and blue at the end of this color lane. So change the white on the far right to pitch black. And over here, you're going to want to set the position of this thingy to 0.665. So this will evenly divide, it'll evenly divide the bar. And over here, you can actually change this. So make sure you're not using the slider for this. Make sure you're actually just using, in the RGB tab, crank blue all the way up. This way it'll just be a pure blue. So now, you're going to want to move this around 15 notches back. So if I were to do 665 minus 15, I would get 650. So I would just put it at 650. And that's where I would do that. Now, moving on to green. We have blue, check mark. We're done with blue. Right? So I suggest maybe, so since we're moving down by 1/2, 0.335. That looks about right. So now 335 minus, actually before we do that, we're just gonna quickly turn this to green. So now you see our GB. The R is currently black because we didn't finish it. So now 335 minus 15. I suck at math. So 3.320. I believe, yeah, 0.320. So once you have it there, from here, I don't believe it matters that much where you put this, but just to be safe, I'm gonna put 0.020. So that's where I'm gonna, and then just crank this all the way to red. So now you'll be able to see we have red, green, and blue. Now we're done with the hard work. That it's easy from here on. It's literal light work. So you're gonna get a mix color. Pop that in here. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah. So go ahead and pop in a mix color. So make sure not to wire. This is something really important. Make sure not to wire this to the color. Wire to the factor instead. So wire color to factor into this mix, and then take color, wire it into your A section, and turn B to pitch black. Next, you're gonna grab a multiply. So go ahead and just duplicate that and change this to multiply instead. Turn your factor to 1. And from here, this is where the magic happens, right? So you're gonna get your image of choice with an image texture. You're gonna import whatever image you want here. So let me pause it as I select my image. All right, now I have my texture selected. You can see I have this dirty lens here. There's no RGB screen effect on this texture itself. So here, you're going to take your your mix, wire it to the A, and then take the shirt, or whatever this is, and then wire it to B. So now we're gonna get into the shaders. We don't have to touch any of this. Everything that we're gonna be doing has to do with shaders now. So just grab an emission, wire the multiply to the color. I'd say set the strength to maybe about 8, and then so this is for your BSDF. You're gonna get a glossy BSDF for this. So for the glossy, wire the color of it. So wire your actual image to the color of your glossy BSDF. And now we're just gonna kind of mush these two shaders together with the mix shader node. Keep the factor at 0.5 because that's exactly what we need. And set the roughness to maybe about 0.2. Okay, so we have 0.2, and make sure your rotation on the Z is -90. This creates the black lines that divide the pixels. That's it for the setup now. Now we can see, do the honors, and you can see now, yeah, there it is. Here's our screen, and you should get the same look if you've done the tutorial properly. I hope this helped you guys out, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to share this with your friends if they're having the same problem. Peace out.